Welcome to the world of Roblox train sim games, where I show fascinating lesser known games relating to trains on Roblox. I'm not going to be showing the more popular games in this video. Alright, let's go. The first game is Northeastern Corridor Train Simulator, in which you drive various trains operating in the northeastern United States. You can't ride as a passenger this time, though. You take in hypothetical passengers in a station and depart, pass through a rail corridor and eventually end up in another station where you repeat the same process. Got it? I mean, a part of the charm is that the task is simple, but you do also have to pay attention every now and then, when you want to switch tracks, or want to stop in a station, which by the way you can see the distance from the station in your bottom right corner. I like the little world around the tracks they've built, since it really makes you simulate being in a train surrounded by beautiful landscapes. I'll tell you this though, the distance between the stations are long. Like, getting from Trenton to Levittown station took me about 6 minutes, which I would not be surprised if this somewhat reflected the real travel time between these stations. Okay, probably not, but what I'm saying is be prepared for long drives. Here's another game from a series of games called ROScale. The one I'm showcasing is based off the Toronto area. This means you get to select trains that operate out of Canada. I chose the GO train personally. Okay, I recorded this video a while ago and it turns out the ROScale Toronto is not available to the public at the moment. Check out the Florida version instead. It should be basically the same thing, same as last time. You go to a station, open the doors, and yes, there are animations. You let passengers go through, then leave, and you drive to the next station. The map is even more detailed this time, and based on real locations in the world. Also, once again, pretty long distance between stations. And you might ask, how is it possible for a Roblox game to be this large? Well, this is because the train models and the maps are miniature. Look at how big I am. For this next game, you need to join a group to even join. But man, it's worth it. Main problem with this game is the language barrier, and the fact that collisions being enabled means you can unwillingly be hit by other drivers, even if you yourself operate correctly and don't derail. But the models are cool, even if most of them are paywalled, and you'll generally get used to the controls quickly. As long as you remember pressing the down arrow key shifts the gear forward, and the up arrow key shifts the gear backward to slow down. Generally speaking, it is fairly easy to miscalculate exactly when you're supposed to be slowing down when approaching a station. But that's a part of the fun, in my opinion. You actually have to get good. As long as you pay attention, you should probably be fine. Oh yeah, and to open the doors, you have to press this red button located on either side of the driver cabin, built into the model. To close, you press another black button. The Japanese do things very differently. Yes, it is difficult to figure out how to drive, but I like that it's challenging like that, and it's worth it as you build up more practice. This next game called CE Transport, it is something else, I tell you. I sat down on the driver's seat, ready to press some arrow key, until I realized none of the buttons on my keyboard worked. You had to physically press a lever built into the model itself that propels the train forward. And you also had to figure out what all these buttons mean. There is no GUI, and at least when I first played this game, I had no idea what I was doing. This is perhaps the game that most feels like driving an actual train in real life within the limitations of Roblox. And yes, it is pretty difficult to get the hang of, but once you do, it is so worth it, as there is a sense of accomplishment you get for overcoming such a task. The main problem with this game is that the tracks are still short, as the game is not finished, and you can collide with other trains. So even if you learn to drive properly, you'll still get hit by other people who just have no idea, forcing you to derail. But I like this concept so much I put it in this list. CE Transport looks like a promising project so far. Transit City 3 is a fun one. It's not realistic at all. In fact, it is way too easy to drive. Each line is grade separated, so you just need to drive straight once you pick a line to operate on. If you use your brakes, the subway stops immediately. The trains normally go really fast, unless it's on an inclined hill. That sucks. Despite its simplicity, you still have everything you need, like announcements.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Doors, and various MTA train models. Okay, I lied, there are some alternative routes you can take. So if you're a baby beginner to train sim games, Transit City is for you. Just be careful of the evil trains and the bugs. Someplace Uptown is a fantastic game for experiencing or driving the New York subway in the 1980s. Look at this, isn't it gorgeous? Now you get to experience how it feels like to be living in the world of the 2019 movie, Joker. Hope that was helpful for you finding new Roblox train simulator games. Choo choo.